once people pull out why people want their stuff, it's like their reels, their content, their bio, everything makes sense. You're going to feel a lot less frustrated.
Hello, welcome to Monetizing Mompreneurs podcast, where I take you behind the scenes with industry leaders, entrepreneurs, moms, working professionals, and amazing people pursuing their passions and going for their dreams. And I'm your host, Linda Mendable.
His passion for marketing began when she studied TV production in high school, then majored in communications and marketing at Virginia Tech before heading to Atlanta after college to work at CNN headquarters. What? Boutique Social was started in 2015 as a full-service social media agency and has now evolved into a consulting agency where Shannon mentors other social media managers through her social biz system course, one-on-one consulting services, and co-founding the Social Squad Society membership. And that's almost how I met her. Well, that is how I met her, which was so and the last part, when Shannon is not working, she's spending time with her husband and 2 daughters in North Carolina, whereas I live as well. On the weekends, you can usually find her exploring the newest restaurant, eating queso, drinking margarita, and eating sand beach sandwiches.
Yes. Big fan.
Shannon, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, I am so I'm really excited that you're here. I got all dolled up because you're here.
I know, I feel bad. I was like, you look gorgeous. I'm like, we're already back in school mode. I woke up like this. I did put some makeup on for you though.
No worries, no worries. This is a pleasure. I was like, and you said yes. I was like, oh my gosh, it was so exciting. And I was like, I can't wait to talk to you because you have such an amazing energy, personality. I remember before I followed you on social, I would, I saw your reel, I would laugh because it was just funny. Like your lip syncing are on point.
Oh, I love them so much. I like, if that's all I had to do, I'd be so happy.
Right. Oh man, and that's a talent.
Yeah, I love just being silly. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's what really attracted me. And then recently I was talking how you have kind of like this glow around you and everything like that. So Shannon, tell us your story, like a small snippet of your story, and then we'll get into the rest.
Yeah. So I've been obsessed with I always just like to say, I've just been obsessed with documenting everything since I was a little kid. Like our storage space in our home is just like literally stacks of VHS tapes, because back in the day, that's what we had. My dad had a camcorder, and the big clunky one. I would just take it everywhere. I would drive people crazy. Everyone at the beach house, everyone at my dad's house, I'd just be like in their faces, videotaping everything. I just loved it. So I went into TV production. So I was like, I think I want to do not in front of the camera, behind the camera. I wanted to be a director. So I studied TV production, ended up at CNN, worked overnights where and just, anyone that going into journalism, they typically know you don't get paid much at all. So I was like, I am exhausted. My anxiety was high. I was there like about almost 3 years at CNN. And then I was like, I can't do it anymore. And then moved back home to DC. That was in Atlanta. I moved back home and I was like super lost. I was like, what am I supposed to do? This is what I study. This is my passion. So I bounced around like marketing and sales jobs and was absolutely miserable because I'm actually very shy around people I guess I'm just shy where I don't feel, if I feel out of place. Like I can't find where I belong. I like shut down. So I never felt right in corporate. I wasn't the smart one. I wasn't like polished as you can see. So I'm like, what do I do? This, whatever, I guess this is my life. I'll just work in a cubicle. Fine, whatever. And then social media, which I was already obsessed with because naturally I love documenting and writing and captions. I was always the friend who was like, my friends would be like, what do I say in my caption? I was like the person they came to. And then when it started going from personal, and then all our grandparents started getting on social, and then all the businesses started getting on social, I was like, wait a minute, this is becoming like marketing, not just social, to keep up with friends and family. So that's where I was actually at my 9-to-5, and someone asked like, who in this company would want to run the Facebook page? And I was like, me, like, I got this. And it was my baby and I was very protective over, I always got so mad if anyone else posted because I was like, no. So I had to figure it out because that was like we're talking 2013, I was pregnant. And then I just kind of like tested things out and I loved it. I loved looking at what worked, what didn't, what resonated. And then when I had my baby, I had a really scary birthing experience and I just couldn't go back to work. And I was like, I finally found a role I like in a company and now I have to leave because I just couldn't do it. So I asked my husband, I was like, if I can get just a few people to pay me to post on their Facebooks. And he's like, if you can, yes, you can leave your job. So on maternity leave, I went to real estate people because I knew people in real estate. My mom was in real estate. I had friends in mortgage lending. They were like, sure, I'll pay you whatever, like $100 for Facebook, $200 for this. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got up to like $300. And my husband was like, okay, well, that can at least pay for baby essentials, formula, diapers, whatever. He's like, if you can do that, I mean, we're going to struggle, but hopefully it'll grow. And it did. And it just grew and it kept growing. And I networked locally, kind of like right, how you and I met at a local networking thing. And that's what I did in DC. And I was just aggressive. And as a very shy person, I was like, I gotta not be. And I just emailed everyone I knew. Was like, do you know anyone? And then the realtor that loved me told the hair salon hired me, the hair salon told the boutique hired me, and it just grew from there. So I had a full-blown social media marketing agency with like 20 clients back then by myself. That was a lot. But obviously it was a different world. There wasn't like video really yet. It was just pictures. So anyway, long story short, yeah, it just grew. And then I started consulting and speaking in DC at like, like the co-working spaces and things like that. My name got out there and it just blew up. And then when COVID happened, it all really blew up because then everyone had to be on social media. And here we are. Yeah. So it's been such a fun journey. And it's weird. It's like weird that is what it is now.
Yeah. And that's kind of like the fast, right?
Yes,
Because
that's the
there's
quick.
bumps in the
Yeah, lots of bumps, lots of horrible clients, lots of Shannon, you might need to go work at Chick-fil-A for a while to get to like lots of those moments. Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that I want to tell to like our audience because girl, you know how many posts I've seen where people say, my business is not where I wanted to be. And
Yeah.
I've been 6 months in this. And some people quit after 3. I know. They don't even give it.
Well, that's the thing. Even when I was only doing social media, I was like, you cannot give me 1 month. You won't see anything typically. I mean, does it happen? Yes. But like, that's if a lot of backwork's already happened. Like the person knows their brand, they've spent months, like no one just like, and if they do, of course, like I said, it can happen. But they're probably already very in tune with marketing and like they know what they're doing, or they're just a really wild personality character that just blows up.
Oh, yeah.
Even Alex Earls of the world, they're like, she's been posting for years, like, and then I mean, obviously content creators are very different from business owners, but yeah, I mean, and I'll tell you, even with me, when I was starting finally to post on Instagram, like when I started posting for my clients, it would take 6-ish months. And again, this is before Reels. So it really took a solid 6 months. And then I started growing them like crazy. And I was like, wait a minute, should I do this for my own account? So then I started posting once I because again, there was no handbook then. And even if there was, it was like, and as you and I know, there's no one handbook for anything. But I was like, let me put the strategies I've been using for these real estate agents and to work, and that it worked for me too. So again, I simply used Instagram as a way to document my journey, and that really works. So I always tell people, if you're really struggling, just almost start out as a personal account and just bring people along for what you're doing. Every big time creator that you talk to, when they're like, how'd you blow up? They're like, I just started sharing what I was up to. Like the DIYers, like I just started sharing projects I was doing, the real estate, like all of them, the boutique owners, they're like, I just started taking people through the journey of creating this t-shirt. Like, I think people get so caught up in like, well, they told me to do this. And there's so many rules now. I tell everyone, I really do believe if I was just starting out, I probably wouldn't like do it. I would just not even try to correct. I'm like, this is stressful. I'm like, I just did it my own way. I was like, I'm just going to use it as a way to be social and connect with people. And I still do that. And I mean, obviously I have like my style of content now, but I'm still constantly testing. I'm still constantly just like throwing stuff out. And if it doesn't work, I'm like, well, I'll try a different way the next time. So
I think that's the true entrepreneurial spirit, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Just, hey, let's see if it sticks, see what happens here. I mean, you do got to test different things out. Things are definitely changing.
Mm-hmm.
And I have noticed, like, for lack of a better term, people throwing dirt on people saying, like high influencers, like you're one of them, and people throwing dirt on you. Like,
Yeah.
oh, how do you handle that?
Yeah. Not well. I'm the most sensitive person on the planet. So like, it's a lot. And I will say, like, if I give a tip, people are like, we're tired of being told what to do. I'm like, it's a suggestion. Like, you do not have to take my advice. I scroll social media all day long and see things that I'm like, I don't like really. Like, if I don't like a recipe, I'm not going to make it. It's the same thing. I'm just throwing out recipes to success.
Mm,
You don't like grapes in your chicken salad, then try this, right? Like, I mean,
yeah.
I'm just giving certain recipes that work for me and my clients. And you can take it or tell me to, go to where, but like, or just don't, just keep it moving. But I will say, because there's so many of us now, people are exhausted. And
Yeah.
I don't want to add to that. And that's my biggest fear, is to add to the confusion. And it's funny, I actually want to do a reel. I'll probably do it sometime this week. Like, I want to be like, I'm not the Instagram growth person, as in the like post 3 times a day, wear yourself out. I'm the Instagram growth person as in like timeless marketing strategies, being conversational, because there are so many of us now. And most of us, unfortunately, there's a huge trend of marketers out there that are just trying to get follows. I had a booked out client roster with 500 follows. I want to know how you're helping people, not just how you're helping yourself, your own account. I see a lot of people being like marketers, like, I grew from 0 to 1 million and da da da. I'm like, yeah, but have you grown anyone else? That's what I want to see. I can
Yeah.
easily do clickbait and get to 1 million followers tomorrow. That's
Mm.
not what I'm here for. And I get tired watching it, because I think people put me in that category and they discredit a lot of marketers now because there's so much BS. And it's unfortunate, but it's like, all we can do is just keep staying like my message. If you go back to the beginning of my post from 2015, I'm saying the same thing, same exact thing. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of marketers in my field who have flip-flopped, and like, that to me is like red flag, but people are just desperate and they want the magic pill. So I'm not going to grow as fast as others. I mean, I have grown a lot, but I think it's because I've stayed consistent with my message and I haven't steered people wrong.
I think I believe in what you believe, like timeless marketing tactics.
Yep.
And number one, the biggest one is consistency.
Yeah.
And
That's it.
whatever, yeah,
That's it.
consistency. You know, as a mom, right? Because we're monetizing entrepreneurs. So as a mom, we don't have, and that's the thing, like we don't have so much time to be posting. Now there's the new thing. People want to post 100 reels in a day. Did you see that? Yeah, someone is promoting that.
It's on site. If I see him, it's on site. That is sick. First of all, the algorithm's gonna literally flip out on you. Like, people are nuts. I'm telling, people are nuts. They will do anything to sell a course. And I'm just like, do you?
I
I'm
couldn't,
gonna stay over here and help people. Legitimately.
yeah, that's a new one that I saw. And I really believe it's about consistency, whether
Yeah.
it's if you're gonna post once a week or one or every day. I do think every day would do more than once
Oh yeah.
a week. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. That's why I
But
tell you what, I've actually bumped up to 1 a day because I have time. Well, actually, I always take 1 day completely off. Like, I disappear from stories. It's usually on Sundays because my brain's like, I need to take a minute. And everyone, when I was on vacation, everyone's like, I thought you were taking a break. I'm like, I am obsessed with creating content. You don't understand. I've been creating content since I was 8 years old on a
yeah,
VHS. Like, I am obsessed. If you are not a content creator, if you are not someone who gets joy out of this, you can post 4 times a week and be fine. All my clients, all of them post 4 times a week. All of them. Sometimes 3, because they'll have a reel go viral and they're like overwhelmed. I'm like, take a break. Let that reel keep riding out. It's not, the algorithm used to work differently. So people have probably heard, you don't want to fight your posts together. I don't know if you remember that, but that was like a thing before reels. Like, you wouldn't want to post, if one post is doing well, you don't want to post another one for a little bit, because then your posts are like kind of fighting each other on the
oh, I
algorithm.
didn't know that. Okay.
We're talking like 5 years ago. Like, that was different. Like, I used to preach that. So that's, again, like, that's why I get also frustrated. There's so many YouTube videos out there, but I'm like, look at the date. we're talking 2019. Like, no. So yeah, it's just, yeah, I just think find what works for you and you'll be okay. you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't want to post a bunch one week and then disappear. And that's what happens. That's what happens when you
That
try
happens to me.
yeah, it happens. It's happened to everyone.
Yeah, because I try. But the thing about it is, right now I'm trying to like do a lot of the back end stuff, the
Yeah,
foundational stuff. That once I am more visible,
there you
that
go.
that I'm good. I'm golden because I have a
I love that
system.
you said that though, because people want to go viral. I'm like, are your links ready for you to go viral?
Exactly.
Are your DMs? Are you
You're gonna
like
lose a lot of money.
DMs? Yeah, it's a lot. Like, be ready.
Be ready for the
Yeah,
viral. And
yeah.
that's what I'm doing. I got my podcast, I got my email, I
That would be
got,
a fun course or like a fun little freebie, like things to have ready to go before you start posting. If
yeah.
you post and go viral and it could happen. I have so many people that are like, holy crud, Shannon, I was stagnant and took one of my prompts and like literally go viral. And I'm like, well, I hope
Yeah,
you're
I
ready
actually
for it.
have.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, be
I
careful what you wish for, y'all.
for real, because
Mhm.
actually do have a launch checklist because I saw that when I was growing my Facebook group, which is a
Uh-huh.
little bit different than
Ooh.
Instagram. When
Yep.
I started growing my Facebook group like intentionally, and I had a product suite, at the time. So right now I'm working on my template shop. See, I'm like, I don't want to go viral yet. You know
Yay.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to go viral when my template shop is
Well, because
done.
you want the virality to bring cash into your pocket.
Yes,
Or some
yes.
people go viral. I'm like, did you make money off it? They're like, no. I'm like, because you weren't ready for it.
You weren't ready for it.
Oh,
And I think that's what people
that's a good real idea.
yeah, do it. Tag me, I'll share
Right,
it.
right. Love it.
Yeah. But no, I love that because I do have like that's one of the things I tell my clients, like in the society, that's where we go through, like build your foundation. You want because a lot of them come to me, a lot of entrepreneurs, they think social media is a thing. It is a thing when you're ready for it. But
Yes.
there's a lot of them are not ready for it because they don't have their links, they don't have their calendars, their website looks janky.
Yep. Yep.
I'm sorry, people are looking at your website. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
they
You
are.
know,
They absolutely are.
yeah, especially now with how, like, cause a lot of coaches have promoted, oh, all you need is a form and that's how you'll grow your business. And a lot of people took that, and I get it and that's fine. But you gotta kind of like establish, I feel like you gotta establish yourself from your market, and the website works for you 24/7 as far as like,
Yes.
like what they need, the resources and stuff like that. But I'm a designer, so I could be biased.
No, I agree. I mean, I know when I finally got a good website, my sales went up. Same follower count, same everything. But
I'm
once my
telling you.
website looked professional, it was, yeah.
It makes a difference. It makes a difference. Makes a difference in the conversions. And so even I tell people, does this website look like you invested in yourself and you want people to invest in
There
you?
you go. There you go. Like, do you need a website in the beginning if you can't afford it? No, I went without a website, but like that was the first thing I invested in. Way
Mm,
before a branding coach, way before I was like, I need a website that looks
yeah,
like I know what I'm doing, even if I
yeah.
don't. So,
No, but I say it's your first employee. It
yes.
works for
Oh,
you
I love that.
24/7. It works for you 24. That's your first hire, your website.
I'm obsessed with that.
Okay, I have a question. So I did tell people in my community, like, hey, I'm about to interview Shannon. She's an amazing strategist. So I have one from Martha, and she says, what are three things that are the most important when building visibility through Instagram? And how should it be different from Facebook? That's my
Ooh.
Facebook group.
So three things you said to gain visibility.
Three things that are the most important when building visibility.
Okay, so I will say one of the ones is the one no one wants to hear, and that is to get social and actually get in there and be social on social media. That is how, so this is what I say to people before there was Reels. This is literally what I would do for my clients. 30 minutes a day, I would go in. I do 10 minutes. I call it, my friend coined it the Shannon method, but it's 10, 10, 10. And everyone's on Instagram for 30 minutes a day. Everyone. Like that's the average. It's like 29 minutes. So you go in and you're going to engage with people you're already following. So your feed, you're just going to leave some love, but don't comment like thumbs up, like leave comments that like bring, because what happens is if I go comment on your post, which I'm sure you know, and you reply back, the next time I post, I'm at the top of your feed. So if you want to get visibility, you want to get visibility with the people who already know who you are. Like they're your algorithm. Your posts go typically, if you've got good engagement, your post goes out to about 10% of your audience. And you want like 3 or so percent of that audience to engage with the content, right? That's how it's a numbers game. for Instagram to be like, check people like her content. So, or hit, or, you know, their content. So first things first I would do to gain visibility, because you got to put in the work. Instagram does want us to be social. It's literally like in their terms and conditions. So I would engage 10 minutes on the feed, 10 minutes on stories. And one little hack I love is go to the end of your storyline, like swipe all the way to the end, because those are typically people Instagram doesn't think you have a close relationship with, which is why they're at the end. And then work your way backwards. It's a fun way to check in with people who forgot about you, etc. Then that last 10 minutes, engage with, I would always do local businesses back in the day and hashtags. Those are my two things. I would search a hashtag, and I would look at recent posts with that hashtag, or go to the person's, like, let's say like here, when I moved here to Raleigh, I knew no one. I literally would search hashtag Raleigh and see Raleigh small business, and I would search that hashtag and just go ham. I found my hairdresser on there. I found our painters there, and I found like co-working places. I started networking. So I was like, I want to start speaking once COVID, you know, once life gets back to normal. So that's another thing I would do, hashtags. And then, like I said, where are your people? If you work with female entrepreneurs, you better be commenting on the coffee shops, the co-working spaces, the blogs, right? Most of them are following the local Raleigh blogs because they are trying to network. If, you know, and I was told my real estate agents, I'm like, okay, so you want to take over this neighborhood. Where do the locals go? What coffee shop are they going? What farmers market? Comment. That's the quickest way to get visibility, because the algorithm has no control over that. Like, that's on you. It's not going to stop you from being seen. So that's number one, and that takes work. If you want to break it into like 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes afternoon, 10 minutes at night, totally fine. Or 5. I tell people all the time, like, just get in there, like treat it like a networking event. Second is to gain visibility, especially, like I said, if you are local, because I work with a lot of local businesses, in your name field. So if you go to edit profile, there's your username, that's your @ and then there's a name field. And oftentimes I see it all the time, that name field and that username are the same. And that name field is actually now 60 characters. I think it was like 30 maybe. So literally all you could fit was your name. Now it's 60. So put keywords. So my @ is Shannon McKinstrie, right? And then my name is Shannon McKinstrie, social media strategist, blah, 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 whatever it is. So now when someone's searching for me, they find me. So you want to change that. And if you're local, put your city and or state. So if you're a local boutique, put like clothing boutique, Durham, right? Because if I'm looking for a boutique to go with my friend, but I'm going to search boutique Durham, but also the algorithm is literally, and a lot of people don't realize this, and it's probably how you and I connected. The algorithm is actively shoving content from people near you to your feed, because it knows if I see something about North Carolina, I'm sticking around. And algorithm wants us to stay on the app. Instagram, that's how they make their money. So if you're local, put your city and state in that name field. Again, if you're like, oh, I can work with people all over the world, you don't have to do that, but at least put NC, DC, like wherever you are in your bio. We like it. It's an instant way to trust someone. I'm like, okay, I know where they are on the map. I know they're not some AI character, like they live here. It's a thing in our brain. Okay. So that's what I would do to gain visibility, is make sure your name field is optimized with keywords and or your location. And then third, reels. I mean, reels, we know, go to people who aren't following you already. But also I tell people all the time is like, make sure it's good. Make sure it like, because if you're creating a reel, it's going to go to people who don't know you. So treat it as if you're creating content that no one knows you from. And because remember, I think forever we were creating content for the people who follow us, and you can do it both ways. So those
yeah, yeah. I think it's very intimidating. I mean,
yeah,
you know, it could be very intimidating, social media, and how do we show up? How do we,
yeah.
you know, do the
It's
thing?
baby steps. It's baby steps. I mean, carousels still work, but like, and static images still work. One of my clients who I still manage is actually a local business here in Raleigh. Their posts and pictures do what better than the reels.
Mm,
Their audience prefers it. So,
yeah. Okay.
you know, so
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
yeah, you can still gain that visibility, but, and you know, I still am a firm believer in hashtags. So don't shy away from those. They help categorize, and people are still searching hashtags to find certain people. So those are another bonus way.
Okay. And she says, and how should it be different from Facebook?
Oh, that's right. Facebook. Facebook is totally different. So just know that it's a totally different beast. And to be honest, I don't really do anything on Facebook anymore except for groups, because my audience just isn't there. But I mean, same thing though. I would make sure your bio is really clear. I don't really know. I don't really know what works
Yeah,
on
I think that
company pages anymore. It's ads. Like they want your money. Facebook's straight up.
that's what I would like for me, what I say to people, with when it comes to Facebook, you want to post on your business page
Oh
because
yeah.
that's going to be the one that you're going to run ads with.
Yep.
And once you're ads, because I'm gonna run ads, girl.
Yeah, you better
Shoot.
run it. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I told them,
Yeah.
like, put your money to Facebook. Instagram, I
I
can
got
help
automation.
you.
It's automation. So I mean, I just think about it as automation. That's
Mhm.
what it is. It's an
And that's
automation tool.
treat Facebook almost like your website. Like it just needs to have really clear, like, if you're a restaurant, here's our menu. Here's our, right? Like you just want,
Yeah, yeah.
it's a good, I mean, still post, but you just want it when they go to your thing, just like Instagram, they want to be able to, who are you? Where are you? What's in it for me? Like
Yeah,
that's,
what's in it for me? Where's the me too? Like, well, how can I identify myself? How can I see myself there? Right? Because they
yeah,
gotta identify with
right.
it too. And then as you're posting, just know that it does have its own algorithm. They don't push it out as much. Some things just randomly do. You can connect it
Yeah.
to your Instagram. It's
Uh-huh.
great because then it picks up its own like it's if you're posting on your business page and you run ads, you have better success than if you didn't post because it
Yeah.
picks up on the algorithm on who your audience would be.
Yep.
In a sense, you get what I'm saying? Like
1,000%.
it's already seeing who's liking, who's
Yeah.
seeing, who's maybe commenting, even though it's in a small scale because they want you to pay to play, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm gonna say this. Remember, don't get overwhelmed because I know there's a lot of things here for the people that are
Yeah.
listening. Build that foundation, right,
Baby
Shannon?
steps. Yeah.
Baby steps, build that foundation. Do you have something that you're selling? Know what you're selling, push it out there in a sense, kind of
Yeah. Have a
relate,
goal. Yeah. Have
have
a
a
goal.
goal,
And your goal is
have a
not
goal.
$1 million. If that's your goal, that yeah, you're gonna get frustrated.
Okay, so this is going to be my question. And my question is, let's say, Shannon, you're starting from scratch now,
Yeah.
with no with with how the industry is now, and you're starting from scratch and you're wanting to build your business all over again, knowing from what hindsight is 2020, knowing what how would you do that?
I would do all the market research branding first. I would not get on here and just start. I mean, again, do you, right? If social media, well, because it comes natural to me, I would probably start posting and showing up on stories and blah, blah, blah. But I wouldn't start heavily creating content until I've interviewed people. Um, I've gotten testimony, I've done the market research because I have so many people that are like, I tell them like, what are you selling? What do you do? Who's your target market? And they're like, oh, well, they want to lose weight. Well, why do they want to lose weight? Because they want to be healthy. Why do they want to be healthy? Because they want to look better in clothes. Why do they want to look better in clothes? Like you've got to get down to why people want your stuff because everything's vague out there, right? It's so much vague content. That's why everyone's like, there's so much competition. I'm like, but is there content? I mean, you got to get down to that. And once people pull out why people want their stuff, it's like their reels, their content, their bio, everything makes sense. You're going to feel a lot less frustrated. And that's not who you work with. I'm not the one you work with for that. You want to work with a brand strategist. You want to work with a copywriting, right? So I would tell people if you have the money, now I know this stuff costs money. I would start there. If you don't, do it the OG way, the way I did. Test, tweak, try things out, be willing to fail, interview everyone you can about why they would want to work with you. If you've already had clients, ask them, why did you hire me over so-and-so? They'll tell you. And you're like, what? Like I remember the first time I sold one of my very first courses, the second time I sold it, off the walls because I interview people. Once I found out why they were buying it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's literally not what I was saying at all to sell it. Then I was like, oh,
Wow.
that's why you want that course? Boom. Change the mission, change the whatever, talked about it more and sold like hotcakes. So you got to get in there. And that's, again, like you said, the entrepreneurial spirit. You have to be so obsessed with knowing your people. Like I know what my people wake up worrying about. I know what they go to bed worrying about. I know what makes them happy, what makes them sad. I know my people. But a lot of the reason I know my people is because I just started showing up on stories and asking and letting them DM me. And so that's the other thing I would do. I would start doing that. If you are ready to go and just want to start like have like maybe 3 pin posts, I would do that too. Like I always say, and since you're the website girly, Like one should be like almost your website about services, and then usually something personal. Like I usually say that's where you share either something your people want to know, or a story, or whatever it is. So that way when they do land on your page, there's a good bio, there's 3 pin posts for them to look at, and there's stories. Like I always say your Instagram bio is your billboard, your post or like your storefront, so they can kind of peek inside. And then your stories are literally saying, I'm open, come on in, spend money, let's talk. So if you have those 3 things going, but yeah, I think I would do at least the market research first, learn how to write good copy, learn how to edit a reel. You can learn all this for free on YouTube or on my page. Like
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. And if you go to my page, go to my reels tab, there's literally a reel from like 2 or 3 years ago where I'm teaching my husband how to create a reel. Because when he started, he had no idea. And I love the guy. He was like, where do I put the text? I'm like, oh my God, this is like, how do you not know? It's not as user friendly as people think it is. I know it's not, because it's not. I grew up editing videos. So to me, I'm like, oh, this is a cinch. I used to have to use all these things. So yeah, that's what I would do. I know it's a lot, but like, it's business. It's a lot. You gotta want it. You gotta want it, but it's fun. Once you get going, it's easy. Your life is gonna be so much easier if you do the research and the getting to know your people beforehand. Send out surveys to people, like whatever you need to do. But the best thing to do is, and people have done it with me too. They're like, Shannon, I would love to just interview you for 10 minutes. You're a dream client. Like I remember a bookkeeper's done it. Someone else done it. I was like, I already have a bookkeeper. They're like, I know, but I just need to know why you love your bookkeeper. What, they interviewed me. They gave me like a $10 gift card. And like, we just sat on Zoom for 30 minutes and they interviewed me. So they knew how to market their program. So got to do that stuff.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have a chance, stop by the website at lindamendable.com and join us over at Monetizing Mompreneurs Facebook group. I just want to say again, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening.